All right. Hello. Good day, folks. And thanks for tuning in to the FU podcast, meaning from Uncle Knowledge, from Uncle Dallas. And from all the uncles that ever told me a thing or two, I'm here today to share with you some uncle knowledge. Now, I titled today's theme um, kind of what's going on in the media right now. The big thing, like if you guys haven't been living under a rock, then you guys would know that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are in this big defamation trial. Um, Johnny's just trying to clear his name, of course, which, I think any man or woman or person has the right to do that. Now, we've been seeing all kinds of nastiness with that, and I got a lot to say about that because I've been watching a lot of it. I've been watching it like crazy, and it's just insane, like what is going on with the trial. And I know like Johnny's like a lot of people love Johnny Depp, and the dude, in his whole career has managed to keep his nose clean. Well, maybe not with the nose candy because it's out there now that because of the nature of the trial that he in fact does cocaine and stuff like that, which is it's not a legal drug, but it is in fact what he does, and a lot of people do that, and it's part of Hollywood, right? Like he even made a movie about it called Blow. Like he kind of told the story of it and the movie. Oh, shit, my phone's ringing. Anyways, um, so I think what is happening out of all this is, the whole Men Too movement. I think is going to arise out of this. I think that's what's going to happen with this whole trial situation with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, or should I say Amber Turd? Amber Turd is, yeah, she's a piece of work. And this is one of the things that we have to kind of put up with as men, in the 2022s. I've studied history, and I've seen, at one time, women weren't allowed to leave the home, right? If you go way back to the 1950s, whatever, 60s, women decided, well, we got rights too, right? So, okay, there's that, right? And then I think it just kept going from there, right? And, um, I had some pretty messed up relationships in my time, and I'm not here to bash any woman or anything like that, but I know things can be messed up as a man, and you know I think nowadays, the system, the pendulum tends to swing in the woman's favor, right? And it's being talked about now that that women uh, get more rights than a man. Like if somebody calls the cops, immediately the cop is going to take the woman's side, right? That's that's really how things are. Like it's kind of messed up that it's like that. But it's good that our women are protected. Because we got MMIW, right? Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women, and I support that 100%. But the only thing is, besides that whole topic, we'll leave that to rest. That's a whole different topic altogether. That's something that we're still fighting and actively doing. Like we just had MMIW awareness on May the 5th, right? Um, it was a big, huge awareness, and I think that's the day of that, right? And I think it's LGBTQ Day, anyways, and it's officially Mother's Day. So, I myself personally, as your Uncle Dallas, I am grateful for my mom. I'm grateful for both my mothers. I got two mothers. I've been so blessed to have two mothers in my life, and I'm grateful for it. Um, I recently just met my dad. Actually, he was trying to call me when when I started this podcast. I don't know, but I guess I'll have to call him back and check on him. Anyways, I recently just met him after 43 years of being in this world. So that's the other thing too. Like there's a lot of things to talk about in regards to that and the men too. I think the good thing that's going to come out of this with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard is the Men Too movement. I think this reveals a lot of things that a lot of us men have had to put up with over the years. You know, good men, like good men that don't beat up women. Like I'm not talking about the Ike Turners. Like the Ike Turners out there, like he got what he got, right? If you ever watch the movie What's Love Got to Do with It, that's horrible, man. I wouldn't, as a kid, I've seen some things. Well, I haven't really seen a woman get hit like that, but uh, I've seen some things. And in our community, in our indigenous communities, we don't allow that. Well, I've heard it a few times behind closed doors. I've heard a woman get beat behind closed doors, and that scared the shit out of me as a kid. I didn't know what to do. I felt like I couldn't do nothing. And me personally, I've not ever, ever close fist punched or hit a woman in a very violent way. If anything, I do believe I have the right to defend myself when attacked, but in a subtle way, of course. So any kind of violence isn't good. You know, I think the best thing or the best advice I can give to men out there is to know your own worth, right? Is to be able to stand up for yourself in such a way that doesn't promote violence, because violence is no good. It's no good. Like it's dangerous to be violent. You know, I think violence has no place in today's world. It just does nobody no good. Violence is never gonna solve anything. It's just gonna create animosity between people. It's going to more violence doesn't solve it, right? Violence, it's no good. And I've been in relationships where there was violence involved. I've had a girlfriend that attacked me before, and I've had to, unfortunately, just figure out a way to get out of the situation or react to the situation without making it too bad. And um, I just think that my thinking is that, if somebody attacks me, man or woman, I have the right to defend myself. Because I don't want to be attacked. I don't want to. I don't even want to be in an argument. I don't want to be in an argument with a woman or anybody, for that matter. Sure, it's healthy to have a debate match. That's perfectly fine. It's fine to have a debate match and say your piece, do your thing. But this whole thing with Amber and Johnny, there's a lot of ugliness that's coming out of it, and it's he said, she said. But I think everybody's starting to realize that Johnny, in fact, is been very victimized by it, and he has no history of ever hurting women. Even his exes are standing up for him. Like none of his exes have ever came forward and said, Johnny hit me or Johnny did this to me. No. Well, there's that Kate Moss, but I think Johnny's legal team is happy that Amber brought up Kate Moss, because I think now that her name has been brought up, they're going to be able to bring her in, and I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a good thing for Johnny's case. I really don't. I don't think Amber is going to win, and if she does, I think Johnny still wins anyway for standing up for himself and for attempting to clear his name. I'm I'm guessing like I don't know. He's definitely got like a 60 to 70% chance at this point to win. It just depends, how much further down the rabbit hole they go and what's revealed when they cross-examine Amber Heard. Um, and we live in a society though, like where the gender roles are kind of confused almost. Like it took me almost 30 years to figure out how to navigate as a man, and at times I would have high points. You know, Uncle Dallas here would I would have high points in my life where I was, kind of at the top of my game, right? I had ups and downs like this, like up and down, like I would be doing good. I'd find myself a nice girlfriend, and then I would, want to settle down and want to be good, and I guess in a way, I guess the mistake I made was almost letting go of myself and almost in a way becoming submissive to that woman. And I didn't know until many times of messing that up that a woman does not want you to submit to her and be her bitch, I guess would be the the way to put it. But a woman wants you to be a man and stand up for yourself. So that's really half of the problem. I'm going to speculate and guess that because a woman wants a man with masculine energy, a man that breaks through barriers, that has passions, that achieves things. And the moment you let go of that, like, because when you're younger, you want to impress a girl. There's white knights out there that try to stand up for a woman to impress her, right? And really, that all the man's doing is just doing that so he can be on the woman's good side, so that woman will give him what he wants, right? So young men out there, if you're watching this, boys, young men or men of the same age, know that your woman always wants you to be a man. Why do you think they say nice guys finish last, right? Or not at all? Because, for a man, you really got to go for what you want in life and be relentless about it and be good. Oh, hey, I got a comment here. I never knew anybody was actually going to comment. Thank you, Jackie. We have Jackie Shorter here saying, I've watched some of the Johnny and Amber stuff and it's a mess. However, I'm on his side. Well, there we go. Another lady on Johnny's side, because the truth is the truth, right? And, there's body language analysis experts that are saying that Amber Heard is in fact lying and she can't tell the truth to save her life right now, and she's not a very good actor because a good actor would be able to, in fact, convince an audience that, in fact, she is telling the truth. But there you go. Uh, the truth always prevails, and that's the bottom line, right? So, what I'm going to say to the young guys out there, all guys out there, there's nothing wrong with being a man. Now, that doesn't mean, go be a slut, go be an idiot, go be a player, anything like that. No, no, just do what you know is right and don't do anybody wrong. It's simple as that. So if your intentions are good, then they're good, right? I run into this a lot, like my my girlfriend, I guess we'll call her, even though we're not, officially in the public or anything like that. I've made it that way because of circumstances, right? She I'm not here to put anybody down, but I'm just saying that she needs to do some work for herself, and I've told this to her and in a nice, loving way that she needs to work on herself before I put my reputation on the line to say that I'm associated with you. And that's fair, right? And we could still be together, still make it work. So anyways, I'm a very patient man, very patient uncle. So, us guys, we get shit on a lot by, our partners, by our kids, our children. We got to put up with a lot of shit as men. Like, we got to put up with a lot of different things. But we do it, right? I think a lot of times it's just about testing your strength as a man. Because I guess we have to be strong, right? We have to be strong mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all these things, right? We have to be strong so we can stand up for our woman. That's the tricky part, right? So if we can't stand up for ourselves, then how are we going to stand up for a woman? Now that's the other tricky part. So guys, don't get that confused, because then there's the whole concept of being a white knight. So I didn't know this, but I guess when I was younger, I guess I used to be a white knight, or maybe I was a white knight once or twice in my life, right? So the woman can be totally wrong and off her rocker, and some man will stand up for her because just because she's a woman, not because she's right or wrong or anything like that. There is men out there that in fact will stand up for a woman and literally will beat guys up because of it. I've seen it. I've seen it. I've unfortunately ran into a few situations like that where a woman is being mean, rude, obnoxious, whatever, and I just happen to be around the area, and next thing you know, I find myself in a conflict, and all of a sudden the white knight comes and, like, tries to save the woman, right? And that's not a good thing, because at the end of the day, if your intentions are just to be a white knight so you can get in the woman's good good graces, so like, it's confusing nowadays in the 2022s to navigate any of that, because for one, the guy could be the gay male girlfriend, which there's nothing matter with being gay. There's nothing matter with standing up for your friends. But I guess there's a line there where right and wrong, like, I think it would be just simple if people just work out their problems, you know, between men and women. And those boundaries, those lines are established. Establishing boundaries is important, because, like I was saying earlier, that with my woman, I've had to state my boundaries and reinforce my boundaries. Now, I have some female friends that, my woman doesn't really like that I have female friends, but in fact, I have some female friends, and some female friends are hotter than others, more attractive than others, let's say. And I have female friends of all sorts, but that doesn't mean that I'm romantically involved with anybody. That doesn't mean that we're gonna hook up or get together. Uh, it just means that we're allies, we're friends, right? So I guess that's the tricky part to navigate, right? So men have rights too, right? We can be friends with whoever we want to, and if we relate to somebody, if we get along with them, we it's better to be friends than not, right? And get over the whole sex boundaries, right? I think we're in the 2022s, right? They have gender neutral washrooms now. Like, they got men and women using the washrooms together, and people of different sexes. Whether you're gay or trans or I don't even know all the terms. There's so many terms nowadays. I'm okay with that. We're all human beings, right? So I guess I'm just trying to acknowledge that gender divide. So I say to my woman, it's like, if you feel intimidated by a woman, then, that's not my problem. That's for you to deal with. Like, I'm not doing anything intentionally to hurt you. I'm just trying to enjoy time with my friend. And, I have a friend in town here that I don't know if she's going to be my friend anymore because unfortunately my woman contacted her and was asking a few questions about her. But I stuck to my guns. Me and my cousin, we didn't do anything wrong. And my friend took us out, showed us a great time, treated us like VIP, and all I did is say thank you. I was a very gentleman about it, and I'm thankful and grateful when it's nice to have a friend actually take you out for once because a lot of times I have to take out my friends. I have to. My cousin's always borrowing money. I don't mind. As long as he pays it back whenever. But you can't be that either. I have cousins that ask me for money all the time, but I have to. I don't even have to say no or say anything. So as soon as I know one of my cousins is gonna ask for money, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. If you get a message, they'd be like, "Hey, how you doing, cuz? Long time." I get messages like that, and usually by the second or third message back, like I could usually tell like what they're gonna ask, and as soon as they ask the question, I just go on red. I don't even respond because it's not my problem. You know, if you can't afford to take care of yourself, then I'm not a loan. I'm not a bank. And I think more and more people should be more disciplined about borrowing money. Like, sure, if you're on the fly, like, hey, I forgot my wallet at home, you mind lending me 20 bucks real quick? Like, I get that. That's fine. If the person has the money to pay you back right away, then that's fine. I do stuff for people, and I do that voluntarily. But yeah, like if somebody can't afford to buy cigarettes or take care of themselves or like, then it's really not my problem. We're all adults and we all have a responsibility and we all need to learn money management. Money management is important because when you get a big lump sum of money, that doesn't mean you have to go and spend it. So that's the best uncle advice I could ever give you. If you have a big lump sum of money, save it, put it away. It doesn't mean spend it. You got to save it because when you're in a low spot, you're gonna need it, right? Because you go peaks and valleys, right? I make a good lump sum of money, and then I have times where I don't make any, and it's those times where I carry it over, or else when I'm in those big moments where I earn a lot of money, I make investments for future things like um, future developments, and to secure my future as um, as I move forward, right? It's important to me. So, anyways, I'm gonna talk a little bit more on this Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case. Like, yeah, I've been watching it off and on for the past couple of weeks, and yeah, there's lots going on there with that whole case, and I just like how Johnny's like so real about his case. Like he's like when things are funny, he laughs. I don't think we've ever seen Amber Heard laugh once at one thing. She's always got like this staged look about her. She's got this staged face on all the time, like, and people are calling it out. People are really smart. All people out there are really, really smart. Like you can't fool the people. You know, you and if she thinks she's fooling them, then she's fooling herself. So I see that throughout the whole case. Like Johnny's sitting there sorting out gummy bears, drawing pictures, and here Amber Heard is like looking all like kind of like a sad face, like it's almost like a sad face, like it's like a long face, and every time she sparks an idea, you can see that she's intentionally writing these notes down that, oh, this gives me an idea that I can attack Johnny with, and it's going to help me win my case. Like you see her doing that a lot, and I didn't see that in Johnny, and you can see like Johnny's obviously got more fans. Like people love him. You know, he's done a lot of work. He's done a lot of great movies. He's a very, very talented man. And sure, he's not perfect. You know, like every talented person, they're a little messed up. The more talented they are, the more messed up. But I do not believe that he is as violent as she says he is. I think she's projecting her own inner demons on Johnny, and that's unfortunate that happens. Like I've been in situations where some of those things they're almost triggering to me because I've been in those situations where I've been threatened, you know, because I'm somewhat of a public figure and people have threatened me at times to go public or charge me or do whatever, right? I've been threatened. I've been threatened more than more than enough times to know that when I see those things, it just makes me shake my head, you know, to know. And a person saying that you're wrong, and then you knowing that you're not, that you never did anything wrong, you know, it's somewhat manipulative, right? I've been almost manipulated to believe that, hey, wait a minute, maybe I am wrong. But no, this is a part of knowing yourself. So this is why men's mental, physical, emotional, spiritual health is important. So physical health, well, that just means taking care of your body, working out, eating right, all that. So mental health, that just means like knowing like how your mind works, knowing yourself. Like all these things are all about knowing yourself. So if somebody puts you down, you're not going to fall apart, right? So that's why strengthening these things is important. Because if we don't strengthen these things and we do use hands and react to any violence or any taunting or anybody that tries to start a fight with us, that can get us in trouble. That's not good, right? You know that's when they use things like, okay, Amber's 135 pounds and Johnny's 185 pounds. That's not a fair fight. But in fact, it's proven that that's not true either, because people people that are smaller, in fact, can do damage to somebody that's bigger than them, especially if they're violent and crazy and throwing things. I've seen it, man. I've seen little people, like smaller people, like overpower people, like overthrow people, like beat them up and hurt people that are bigger than them. So it doesn't take much. Like, you know, even in society, right? Right here in Edmonton, there's this, you know, there's cases like that all the time on the news. Like, seen this. What did I see recently? Uh, yeah, I think that's another topic I'll talk about some other time. But you know, it's true though. Little, it's not the size of the dog in the fight; it's the size of the fight in the dog. There's an old saying, right? So there's some uncle advice for you. It's not the size of the fight. It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. And they say that, right? David versus Goliath, right? There's a concept behind that, and how that works all together. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of leave it there. That, you know, for us men, you know, for any advice for young men out there, you know, just pay attention to that mental, that physical, that emotional, spiritual health, and you'll be fine. And if somebody's trying to fight you, then just walk away, man. That's the best thing. That's the best uncle advice I could ever do. And if they try to hit you while you walk away, then you have every right to charge them. And that's the truth. And and definitely look up the term. If you don't know what white knight is, for you young men out there, look it up. Because you don't want to be a white knight. Don't be a white knight. It's not good to be a white knight. Why save somebody else for personal gain or whatever? That's not a way to gain. No. It's just like the whole concept of chasing money, right? People chase money all the time, right? They chase money because they want money for a better living, better life, whatever, right? No. No. I've heard the best way to to not chase money is to attract money, is to attract opportunities. So don't be a chaser or a white knight. Be a magnet. Be a people magnet. Be a friend magnet. A lady magnet or whatever you're into. Be that. There's no pride in being pitiful. So look up that. And also look up the term male orbiter. There's a lot of those too, right? Where a bunch of guys will hang out with this certain girl because they like her, but they don't want to reveal their secret, but they want to be in her good graces, right? To be close to her, because maybe someday she'll realize that, in fact, actually, I do love this guy has been hanging around. It doesn't work that way. No, no, you gotta be your best self always. That's all we could ever do. Man, woman, gay, straight, whatever. All we can do is just be our best self. And if you got problems, usually if you're out there in the world enough, and if you're listening and paying attention, and enough people will tell you that, in fact, there might be a little something wrong with you, right? So if you don't realize that and you ignore that, then there's always going to be a problem, right? There's a saying by my coach, Coach Corey Wayne, I follow as well. So the saying goes, you could ignore reality, but you can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. And that's so true. So, yeah, I'll just leave you guys with that note. And I just wanted to say a few things on the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case that, men get abused too. But in the past, it hasn't been honorable for us men to stand up and say, yeah, I've taken a few shots. And, thank you, Johnny Depp, for standing up and telling the truth. And not just taking the beating and taking the defamation or whatever you call it. Thank you for revealing and being vulnerable, Johnny. It's okay for us men to be vulnerable too, right? Because sometimes we gotta be. We can't just be all macho all the time. We can't just be, the stereotypical man. There's moments where, in fact, we do get abused, we do get hurt, and it's okay. It's okay for us to lick our wounds and heal, right? That's what being vulnerable is about, right? You got to heal, right? You got to fix yourself, and then you become stronger. So there's nothing wrong with that. So I just wanted to speak about that, and a lot of people out there they're speaking about that too, and there's a lot more content creators than me on YouTube. I've been trying to keep this podcast going for a while. I haven't done it in a few weeks, but I hope to do more of these podcasts just to share from an Indigenous perspective, from a Canadian Indigenous perspective, that is, or an Edmonton perspective. But, I'm also an artist too, and I don't get a chance to share this side of me a lot. And talking about these issues that we face as men, as Indigenous men, it's really hard for us. It's even hard watching my son make his mistakes. I wish he would come to me more often and maybe ask some advice. But instead, I got to put it out there, because maybe I messed up and he doesn't consider me to be good advice, But maybe someday he'll come around and he'll be like, you know what, Dad? You actually do have some good advice, some good words to share. But hey, I'm not gonna hold my breath on that one. All I can do right now is just put it out there and share my words. And then I guess more people are attracted to the fact that okay, if I'm looking for advice, it's there rather than having somebody tell you what you should be doing. So I'm just putting this advice or this talk out there so that if somebody is looking for clarity or for answers or for advice or whatever, some uncle advice, some some FU advice, some from uncle advice, then it's here. And I'm going to continue to share as much as I can when I can, and because I'm pretty busy too, man. I got busy. I got a lot of shit on my plate too. I got shows, I've got performances, I got projects on the go. So yeah. Anyways, I'm just gonna sign off for now. Thank you guys for tuning in. For those of you that watched, and we'll see you guys again sometime soon. There's no word for goodbye in our language. We just say hi hi, kanana skumptin, kipakawa pumptin. Thank you very much. Have a good day.